Hi, and welcome to the Planet Driven Brands podcast. In this show, we will be discussing with our guests how brands they represent can help in the drive to build a better, more sustainable and safer planet. We will highlight brands as drivers for change and the role they play as influencers. How will brands positively impact the planet and its environment? This is what we're going to find out. Do brands actually have any responsibility to change? Planet Driven Brands podcast, episode 24. Today's guest is Bobi Carley, Head of Media and Diversity and Inclusion Lead at ISBA. Today we're going to be talking about sustainability, diversity and inclusion in advertising. Hi Bobi, really nice to have you on the show. Can you give us a quick introduction?
Hello Nick, lovely to be here. I'm Bobi Carley, Head of Media and Diversity and Inclusion Lead at ISBA.
Can you just explain ISBA, its scope and its mission?
Yeah, sure. The Association of Advertisers. So we are the only membership where it's just brands who are our members. So we're there to wholly represent advertisers' needs. Thinking big picture, that's about ensuring that the environment and the industry we're in is trusted and sustainable.
Are you noticing any change in their attitudes and the ranking of issues around sustainability?
Yeah, we have a working group along with the Advertising Association. This is a new conversation, but brands are very engaged. It's very high on their agenda. Sustainability in its broadest sense and brand purpose has been and is much more of a focus than ever before. And I think probably COVID has accelerated that.
You are the lead for diversity and inclusion. Please tell me what that entails and where it's come from and where it's going to.
Well, it's been an interesting journey. When I joined ISBA, there had just been a diversity and inclusion network set up. So that's 2 years ago. And there were two people running it, and one of the women was leaving. So I just offered, as a senior person, that I would step in and help run it. My colleague who I was working alongside, who's Filipino, who was running the group with me, had a lot of personal interest, passion and expertise. And to be honest, at the beginning, I was really reliant on her for the knowledge base. And then it was all very timely. You know, we were progressing, and brands were wanting to know more, and it was very much about bringing the experts in to tell them stuff and to show best in class examples and things like that. But then George Floyd happened last year, plus my colleague went off on maternity leave at the same time, and it was like a whirlwind. I basically became a lot more absorbed in diversity and inclusion because there was so much happening. There were so many questions from brands. But one of the best things that happened at the time and leading up to it was the fact that us as ISBA, the IPA, who represent agencies, and the AA, who are the body who represent everyone, brands, agencies and publishers, broadcasters, we all got together and said, we need to work together on this. What's brilliant about inclusivity and diversity is the non-competitive element to it, that everybody really genuinely wants to work to change this industry.
What was the scale of the problem, do you reckon, when you first started looking into it?
Well, we're still gathering the insight, but the difference is that this isn't about getting numbers for numbers' sake. This is about then creating an action plan, which will be ongoing. Because ultimately, we want our industry to be able to say that we are a leading industry in representation. That has to be led by the people being representative in order to create work that's representative and to be able to buy media that's representative. They're all interlinked.
You represent your members on this. How easy will it be for you to get your members to sign up to work with you on it?
I think the work done in terms of the why has happened. Yeah. People really get the why. people are on the journey, and there are brands doing amazing things. I think that's what's really key. The biggest question is where to start, and the answer honestly is just start. But do you know what's really incredible and inspiring? I had one brand, and he said the company he worked for, they're really progressive, they're massive focus on D&I representation. And he said, but I feel in media and creative, I don't really know where to start. But he just did. And he created, and he worked with his agency, and he's completely changed the way that business buys media, the creative they put out. And it's one person. They just decided to make a difference. At ISBA, we produced earlier this year a document I was about to show you on camera, but you can't see me, called Representation of a Nation, working with the consultants Flock. The purpose of that was practical advice for marketeers to start and to become more diverse and inclusive. That was GSK and Mars and a number of brands who are all progressive in this area. They've got there before other people. But what's brilliant is they are 100% happy to share their knowledge, their expertise, their learnings. They're not using any of this for competitive advantage. They just want the industry to change. I've been very cognizant of the makeup of our steering groups and our board and council, as has the team at ISBA, because they are made up of who are in the industry. The CMOs are who they are, the marketing directors are who they are. But we can't sit and wait for that to change. Like, you can't wait until there's a new marketing director. We've got to, and it was really that you just have to do something really struck home for me. So we're looking at all different things now within ISBA of how we create more representative groups and how we make the change happen, not wait. We've got a tracker looking at representation in advertising. So every 6 months we run this tracker. And what's great is just asking 2 simple questions about whether the ads are representative of British society, and it is going in the right direction.
I think there's a long way to go, and I think that's the point. This is about as difficult as it's going to get, and you are going to get pushback, and you are going to get people saying, "Well, this is just ridiculous." But I think you just have to keep at it, and you haven't got any choice.
You're right. We're at the start, and also it's not just a do something and tick the box. This has to be the way of working from now on. There's so many stories. Ethnicity is only one part. Social class is a massive problem in our industry. I think in the stats, it's 4 times as many people come from private school than the general population. And everybody's done it. You think of friends who people's children. It's how this industry has worked, but that's why the industry is like it is. That is a challenge.
So how would you sum up where you might want to be in 2-3 years' time? Or was that too difficult?
That's a great question, because within D&I, it's not something that is ever going to be completed. But obviously, in 2 or 3 years' time, I want to see massive improvement of who's in our industry. I don't want there to be a conversation of, oh, but I can't get a woman on a panel, or I can't get a person of colour on the panel. I want the work that we're creating just people not to think about ensuring that it's representative, that it's just happening. All of these things need to just be, at the moment, they have to be conscious decisions because everyone's going through a change. Hopefully, this is how we work moving forward.
I suppose success then is we find ourselves not talking about it anymore.
Exactly. Although we'll have to keep talking about it because it's really important.
Yeah, good point. Because the minute you stop, it starts all over again, doesn't it?
Yeah, do you know what though? So it's shocking the responses that there has been to some ads. I mean, we've had letters at ISBA, and actually I know the AA have as well, sort of complaining about ads that are representative. But brands' responses, honestly, are just so amazing. Nationwide did an ad. It happened to feature a black family, and they got a lot of backlash on social media. People saying, you don't want our business. And they did the most amazing thing. They just contacted those people and said, we're happy to close your account. I mean, that's just brave, and that's putting what they believe in first. That in itself is just brilliant because it helps other brands be brave. What brands are really understanding is that they've got to know their audience, and their media and their creative have got to be appropriate for that audience. And that's all they're doing. If their audience makeup is split between age, between gender, between LGBTQT, whatever, then they need to make sure what they're creating talks to that audience, or that there's different copy for whatever platform they're targeting. Brands know so much about their audience. So actually, they can create the right stories for the right audience at the right time. And the ones that are doing that and using their insight in order to tell the right stories to the right people are the ones that are going to do well, and the ones that are doing well.
Thanks, Bobi. Brilliant.
Thanks, Nick. Been a pleasure.
I've loved it. But good luck. Let's speak again soon.
Will do.
Thanks,
Bye,
Bob.
darling.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Bobi. Brilliant insight. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. The Planet Driven Brands podcast is the brainchild and copyright of Nick Jones and is broadcast in partnership with theplanetsagency.com. Planets Agency is a partnership of consultants and communications experts. We build planet-driven brands. During the series of shows, we'll be hearing from more experts, and we would love for you to be involved. Please do comment or come back to us with questions. We'll be happy to engage. If you wish to be notified when our episodes are broadcast, please subscribe on the website. If you'd like to be part of the show, we'd love to hear from you. We look forward to many more entertaining episodes. Thanks again for listening.